Hi guys. Okay, so I'm back, and I wanted to show you guys. I wanted to talk a little bit more about UTEE. As I told you in my last video, I've gotten a lot of. I got some new ultra thick embossing enamel, and I got my new melting pot, which I have been trying out and doing a lot of different techniques with and stuff. Wait 1 more second. Let me just close my door. Sorry about that. And oh yeah, and also for my last video I was recording on my phone. I'm using my laptop now because I didn't know that if you turned it sideways that it wouldn't turn the other way, that it wouldn't turn with it, which I mean I probably should have realized. But that's okay. So I'm gonna film from my laptop. I think it'll be easier. So I actually have two nonstick craft sheets down. I have the Tim Holtz one, and I also have one that you put like in the oven that I got from whatchamacallit, the Christmas tree store for $5. But this one has like little ridges in it, so it shows up on the on the backs of the UTEE once it dries, on the back of your image. So I put down this one because the Tim Holtz one doesn't do that. So I thought I would use that one. So, and I wanted to also talk to you about Amazing Mold Putty. So I started making molds because I first started out using stencils. I mean, not stencils. Why can't I remember the name? Any of these cookie cutters. So I started out using cookie cutters, but I wanted to try and like make my own molds because I've seen other people do it, and I wanted to get the one that Sue Weinberg made, or she has, but hers is just, it's so little. Like the bottle is like that big, and this one's like huge. And there's two parts to Amazing Mold Putty. This was $20. I used a 50% off coupon, so I mean it's not that bad. And I've already made, like, as you can see, I'm gonna bring over some of these, all of these molds, and I made some other ones too. I made all these, and I haven't even like been close to putting a dent in it because it started out, it was like that high, and now it's down to like here. So I didn't use that much. But anyway, so I thought that I'd show you some of the things I had made. I have done, I did like flowers and stuff. Like I have this one that I made from a mold, which I really like. I really like these flowers. Let me see, that one. I also made this one, which is really pretty. I like that one. Oh, I gotta go that way. Made that one. There's also this rose, which is beautiful. I think this is definitely one of my favorites. And then I also made like some hearts and stuff. Like some of them I didn't do, I didn't put the UTEE in yet. I haven't tried them out yet, or they just like didn't work, so I wasn't able to use them. Because I learned once you start using them, once you start using the Amazing Mold Putty, you like get used to it. Like you have to make it a really deep impression, or else it's not going to come out. Like I have one here, like I have this one, and this one I made, oh, where is that one? I can't find it. Oh, it's upstairs. Okay, whatever. But I used this one, and I got a really good impression because if you could see, it has some depth to it. It's like a little thicker than like one that's like flat, like this one. And when you do that, because I kind of like formed it over, and when you do that, it gives it like a, it makes it like three-dimensional and stuff, like this one does. Like, so that one's kind of like three-dimensional, like it'll kind of pop off your page, which is really cool. But some of them, they like don't really work that well with that, but I'll show you that in the video. Okay, so let me get out. So to make a mold, we're gonna do one of this heart, and we're also gonna do one of this cameo today. So to make a mold, you want to take equal portions of Amazing Mold Putty. So I'm going to take about, and you know, you got to be pretty generous with it, but you'll get used to like how much you need for each thing as you're making more molds. So you want to, I kind of roll mine into balls so that you can see if you have an equal amount of each one. So I think that looks about right. That looks good. It's about the same size. And now you just want to start mixing them together. Here, I'll show you. You just want to start mixing it and mixing it. Right, 6 minutes. I don't like that you have to do videos under 15 minutes, or at least I have to. But once you want to mix it so that you can't see any more of the white streaks in it. You want it to be it's not as bright as yellow as this is. It's like a lighter yellow because it's because you're mixing it with white. So once you finish mixing it, you have about 3 minutes to make your mold, which is a good amount of time, I think. So then I kind of flatten my mold out a little bit, and then you want to take your image. So I have this heart, and you want to take it and just push it into the mold. And I kind of like to push up against the sides of the mold just to get a better imprint in it, and also because there's so much on the sides, and you'll see like when you push down, a lot of it expands out to the outsides. So when you push up against it, it kind of gives it extra space to pour your UTEE in, so that you can make it thicker or thinner if you want it to. However you really want your finished product to be. So I'm just gonna form that around it, but you don't want to do too much because you want to still be able to pop out the image, because sometimes if you do it like this one, how it's kind of like really thin, like there's not that much space here, it's really difficult to get out like the sides of it. So you just want to like watch for that. But I mean, like this one, this is the perfect size probably to have like a hole that big, and you have just a little bit of space on the outside in case you need to pull it out. So you got that one. You just want to let it sit. And now let's do the cameo. And the cameo is a little thinner, so I like to make these a lot thicker, because when you make them thicker, it's a lot easier for the same reason. Like when they're really thin, like I did this one. This was of a Tim Holtz word charm, I think it's called, a word stick, I think. But I pushed it in, and those are thin, and this came out really thin. And when you pour the UTEE, it comes out kind of thick, and so like this one just didn't really work, so I kind of wasted one. But I mean, that's okay, as long as like you're like figuring out like what size you need and stuff like that. It'll work out. So let's do the second one. Don't need that much. And I mean, I really like the mold putty because you could make it like you could make a mold out of pretty much anything. Like I've made it out of like parts of this like flower set that I had in my house. I've made it out of charms. I've made it out of jewelry pieces. I've made it out of what else? I have buttons that I did. I also have these little, I got when I was shopping, I found these little flowers, and they're plastic flowers, but I really like them and I didn't want to use them because I didn't have like that many, because they were kind of expensive. They weren't like that expensive, but I didn't want to buy like a whole bunch, so I made a mold out of it. And I mean, it came out pretty nice. Like that was the one that I showed you earlier, of that one. And I mean, they come out really nice. So I'm almost done mixing this, and then I'll show you, we'll pour one, and I'll show you what it looks like. And these don't take that long to set up. I mean, they take about, let me just carefully lift that off and move over. They take about, I'd say, 20 20 to 30 minutes to for them to completely harden, which isn't that bad. So move this over. Okay, so I had to finish that one, and now I wanted to make a mold. I wanted to do the one that I showed you of the depth and stuff like that. I thought that one came out really, really nice. So I have my UTEE already melted in my melting pot. So I just want to take it. I need to get a little more cord. Sorry, let me just adjust the camera a little bit. Okay, so I'm just going to take my melting pot and lift it up a little bit. And you want to make sure that you turn your dial all the way up to the UTEE setting and cover it and let it heat up completely before you put in your UTEE. And then you add your UTEE, and you want to make sure that you don't stir your UTEE as it's melting, because if you do, then you're gonna get air bubbles in it. And I mean, it depends, like if you like it like that or something like that, but I don't really care that much about that. Also, I want to try and get it so that you can see it, but you just want to carefully pour it into the mold, just like that. And you can see how I have it in here, just like that. And you just want to like let it sit up. Just want to let it set. And I mean, they're really nice ones. Like this one, this UTEE is not an actual color. I actually had done some work with gold and bronze beforehand, and I guess there was like a little patch of some of the colorant from that in the center of the pot that I didn't clean off. So when I went to put in, because I put in some clear and then a little bit of the interference blue, and when I put that in, it didn't it mixed with the color, so now it's like this like copper. It's kind of like this like warm brown color, which is what I showed you for these two, which I think is beautiful. Let me get this on camera, which is what these two are. And it's not picking up that much, but you can see there's, if you actually could see the color, it's like this brown with a hint of blue when you tilt it. It's absolutely beautiful. And so I mean, you can use most of the clear, because I mean these come in smaller packages. So what I do is I mixed most of the clear and then add a tint of whatever the colorant is. Unless, like, if you add mostly clear, it's going to come out more translucent. But if you add just whatever the colorant is, it's going to come out more opaque, like this. And it's all preference. It's all personal preference. It all depends on how you like it and stuff like that. But for certain things, I like to have it more opaque. For some, I like to have it more translucent. But I mean, you can add just a little bit of the colorant too. Like I mixed the interference blue with a little bit of the gold and and a lot of the clear, and got this beautiful color. So I suggest that you try that. And now this is, it's still a little warm when I touch it, but it's hard, so I can take it out of the mold now. So I just want to, what I do first is kind of just pull on the sides a little bit to let it out, to loosen it up a little bit before I start taking it out. And then you just take it out, just kind of carefully take it out, and then look at that. How beautiful is that? Isn't that so pretty? I love this. I think it's beautiful. And I mean, that was so easy. And now it's got this beautiful tint to it. Let me put it against a white piece of paper. It's got it's thick. Like look at the dimensions on that. And it's just beautiful. And there's texture to it. I mean, the UTEE's amazing, and the possibilities with it are endless. So I definitely suggest you go out, get some mold putty. If you already have a melting pot, obviously, and some ultra thick embossing enamel, and just go, the possibilities are endless, and just have fun with it. And if you want to post a response video on this, and let me see what you made. So thanks for watching. See you next time.